Cell phone bills in Canada are among the highest in the developed world. The OECD tracks cell phone spending in its 34 member countries. It says the average cost of a Canadian cell phone bill is $573 a year, nearly 30% more than the OECD average. Rainer Schoen is an engineer and expert in wireless policy. He says the reason for high prices is the lack of competition in the cell phone industry. Why is there a price discrepancy between Canada and the US in terms of wireless contracts?
We observe a lot of carriers and operators in the US, but you hardly see competition in Canada. There are three big companies, can name them, Bell, Rogers and Telus, and there are smaller companies which are associated to them, but they have a market share of roughly 30% each, so there's not really an interest of changing that situation. That's why they just stay on their high level or high expensive plans.
We took this Rogers wireless bill to Shonen. The total bill was $85. This customer was charged $60 a month for 1 gigabyte of data and 1,000 voice minutes. What does 1 gigabyte of data cost a wireless carrier?
It's really hard to tell because this information is generally not available. Even inside the company, people don't know the exact numbers. It's just the economists that make up these numbers. And they basically say that infrastructure costs are probably paid off. So it's all the operating costs of these companies that are put into this bill and make prices like that. And voice minutes and especially SMS, so text usage is a cash cow. So it's a big source of income, so why change it if it gives all the money? Basically voice and SMS is low rate services for a big price.
Members of the CRTC met in February of this year to draft a new wireless code of conduct. The aim was to bring prices in line with those in other countries. The code will apply to all cell phone contracts signed after December 2nd of this year. The code limits international data and roaming charges and restricts contracts to a maximum of 2 years. John Lawford is the executive director of the Public Interest Advocacy Center. His organization lobbies the federal government on a number of consumer issues. He says the code will bring down the price of wireless services and prevent bill shock.
Internationally, you will have a cap on your roaming of $100, or at least the companies aren't allowed to bill you more than $100 unless they get your explicit consent for roaming. So the coming back to the large bills problem should be taken care of unless you were roaming and consented to keep using it at whatever rate it was. So that's a big deal. And then inside Canada, there's a rate cap on your data. So you couldn't get more than $50 billed to you in a month for data overages unless you agreed as you went along to do that. So there's no surprise billing for overages on your data use.
He cautions users against locking into a contract before the new code comes into effect. Should consumers wait to get their cell phones on December 3rd?
Yeah, the clearest message to people is that you will for sure get the benefit of the code if you wait till December 3rd and sign up if you can wait to get a new contract. Then you can cancel anytime. You'll get a 2-year contract. You'll be able to unlock it. You can roam with the limit. And I would wait if, we're into October now. I would wait the 2 months and make sure that you get the benefit then.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper vowed to address high domestic roaming charges in last week's throne speech.
Those charges are still high. They're not covered by the wireless code. The wireless code just covers international roaming.
But our experts say the most effective way to drive down the cost of wireless services is more competition.